So make sure that you call in. Again, I'm going to give you the instructions on how you can chime in live inside of the studio with us. 605-562-0444 or 717-734-6904. Identification code 546-1150 To enter the studio, you will need to press £1, and to join the conversation, I need you to hit *2 so that you can chime in live on air. Again, we are broadcasting live from the vibrant city of Lagos, Nigeria, via Talk Shoe Radio on the WBNN. Thank you guys for joining me. I want to see if my special co-host is in the studio with me. So, Dwayne, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
How are you? How
Yes,
are
ma'am.
you? I know I
I'm
ran
doing
through a
pretty
lot
good.
just then. But I tell you, are we are definitely in a state of emergency, if you would say that, within our Black and Brown community. Because as I turn on the different TV channels, I flip through different social media platforms, and everywhere you turn, there is always something popping up about one of our Black and Brown brothers and sisters. They gone missing, they've been unalived. Just so much is happening. So many evil things are happening to us. And I just want to touch on some of those things tonight. And I know that you guys have also been involved in another case that we are going to touch on as well. But for those that did not tune in last month, they may not know who you are. For all those that are chiming in, I want you to introduce yourself. And last time we got so caught up, we forgot to give out how they can connect with you and all of that good stuff. I definitely want people to be able to connect with you and to know how to support your platform. So introduce yourself and let them know how they can follow you and all that before we dive in, because sometimes we can get deep and forget about all that stuff, because I know I will. So go ahead and introduce yourself. I'm going to move on out the way.
All right. Most definitely. How everybody doing today? This is a great day to be here. We do have a lot to tackle that's going on in this great world that we live in. And my name is Dwayne, and I'm an advocate. I do have a outreach program, a ministry that I do operate out of, which is the Kingdom Worldwide. And you can reach us at thekingdomworldwide@gmail.com. Social medias are at um, program as well. But we do advocate for those who can't advocate for themselves, those who need help. I knew about in Frisco, Texas, a year ago, but it just fell under the radar. And the mother was basically pleading for someone to come help, and that's a young man named Tristan Weekly. He went to Western Middle School out in Frisco, Texas, back on August the 13th, 2024. He was going to the restroom before the school ended, and I believe this was the third day of the school year, his first year in seventh grade, so no one really knew him because he was a 12-year-old in seventh grade and hadn't been in middle school yet. And he heard someone call his name, so he went to the front of the restroom, and then the lady, she introduced herself as Amanda, and she asked him if he wanted any ice cream. He said no, and he said physically she got upset, and she pushed the ice cream substance in his face. He felt a prick, and he blacked out. And he then, probably maybe about 40 minutes or so later, his mom would come to pick him up in the place where she's supposed to. He was not there. So she ended up calling the police, and the police ended up telling her, hey, we found a young man matching that description up the road a little bit of the house. And so he ended up being on a ring camera and asked if for help. The guy called the police and they came to help. But Tristan didn't remember any of that from the poke on until him fighting for his life in the hospital. He didn't remember any of that. He's 13 now. He does have a lot of things that he's dealing with because he did have a legal dose of, I think it was, I forget exactly what the substance is, so I don't want to misquote it. But I believe it's the stuff you use to remove the fingernail polish on your nails. But don't quote me on that right now. But
acetone.
Yes, they did the toxicology report, and it was a lethal dose that he had, and it was just God's grace that he was still here. The mom was trying to get with the school the next day. They showed her a piece of the video. Now, the news report that day, I remember because my wife and I was driving in the car when we heard it, and it was stating that he calmly walked out of school and walked up the street. That he calmly dropped his backpack and he just left. When the mother went the next day and they showed her a snippet of the video showed him actually frantically running, and he got to the cafeteria when nobody was there because it was prior to the bell ringing for the release for the rest of the day. So no one was in the hallway, and that's when you could see him frantically running, and he ran one way, his backpack fell off, and he took off, and he went out the door running from whatever it was that was after him, and they cut it off. She couldn't see anything else. And from that day on, they've really just been snowballing her and telling her that they closed the investigation, they this, they that. So I put in a FOIA request last week for a whole lot of information, and this week I'll be getting to get information back. And they actually submitted it to the Attorney General, Ken Paxton of Texas. And he responded back saying that he can't give me the information because I'm not a parent or guardian on the case to get the information from the actual police department for the police records, for the police report, for the body cam footage and all that. Back up a little bit, they had told the mother she couldn't have it because they were investigating and she wasn't privy to that. So since now Ken Paxton has actually stated legally that the mother can have it, and I couldn't because I'm not a parent, now we're going to make sure that they get that information to her. And that's the importance of advocacy. You don't have to insert yourself in it. You don't have to really delve into it and be involved in it. You just have to help. So that way that person can get their opportunity to be helped. And that's what we're doing now. I do many other things, but that's where I am in this space in this time. Thank case and the people that were involved in that chose to bully and dox and threaten the family and others like myself who seen the video. They have actually put their key in my back to actually go out and be a full-time activist now. So that's what I'm doing.
Wow. Well, I definitely I thank God for you. And I'm not going to start naming names because there are a lot of individuals that have been advocating um, for Carmelo. And I see the work that y'all do, and I truly, truly appreciate what you are doing because it's truly needed. Um, like I said before, and as I was calling off those names, those individuals that have been unalive, that have went missing, and all of those different things. So much is happening, and we just don't know when it will be one of our loved ones, when this will hit close to home. So it is important for the work that you guys do, and I applaud you. Um, Back to Carmelo Anthony, because that was one of the cases that truly brought us together. Just listening to a lot of the Reddicts and a lot of the lies that have been spewed concerning this case. Even now, there's so much hatred going out because this young man decided that he didn't want to sit and wallow and wait until somebody decide his faith. He wanted to continue to seek out a better life for his future, and creating his legacy. So he has enrolled in school and he has started school. And as I scroll through these various platforms, I have seen so much negativity being spewed, so many lies that are being spewed across these platforms, and it's just sad. It's just sad. I want you to share a little bit of that backstory to catch those up that may not been on last month to hear that story of Carmelo Anthony, because that was what brought us together.
Sure. Carmelo Anthony was the 17-year-old track star and football star. I'm stating it that way because he was the captain of the football team and also the track team at Centennial High School in Frisco, Texas. Carmelo was there at Carthage Stadium on April the 2nd, 2025. So this year, a few months ago. And it was a rain delay. We had a lot of storms in the Frisco, DFW area that day. So they were finishing up their qualifying, I believe, for the UIL event that they were participating in. And so the buses bring all of them to the stadium, so they had to stay there all day for the event. So in between this, we had a torrential downpour. It was lightning and everything in the area, so they had to take a break. So during this time, there was about maybe 8 to 9 schools that were there participating, and normally they would have enough canopies for everyone to be able to sit under. However, whoever it was that was tasked, it's allegedly said that it was the twins, Austin and Jeff and Hunter Metcalf, that was tasked to put those canopies up, and that's per their own father, Jeff Metcalf. They only put up 3. And so you can see from the aerial footage of the news stations that day that the other canopies were laying still wrapped up on the bleachers. Carmelo Anthony was basically sitting maybe for about a good 9, let's just say 9 to about 15 minutes. He was sitting up under the canopy at the back of it to the left. And he was really just minding his own business on his phone, just sitting there. Everybody was kind of all around trying to stretch back out, get ready for the opportunity for the meet to start back up. And all of a sudden, Austin Metcalf, Hunter Metcalf, and 2 of their friends, we'll leave it at those 2, since that's what Hunter said on his interview, that he, his brother, and 2 of his friends were coming back. And so they made haste over to where Carmelo was sitting underneath the memorial canopy, and they surrounded him. And when they surrounded him, it wasn't many seconds later that they actually started assaulting him. And when I say assaulting him, they were doing just that, assaulting him. And you can see him back out. So he got away from the initial assault. He was backing out, trying to get away, and they pulled him back in by his hoodie. He had on a gray hoodie. They all had on black hoodies, which were the colors of their separate teams in school. And so when they brought him back in, you can see them still, beating him up and assaulting him. And then at that point, I believe that's when the incident happened, the alleged stabbing at that point in time. Then you see Carmelo back out finally. He looks to the right. He couldn't go that way, so he went left, came down, and he fell down, and he jumped back up. And when he did, 3 of the young men went chasing after him. The 4th young man attempted to try to chase him, but you can see him grab his chest, almost in a moment to where someone would if they were having cardiac arrest. He moved down a few bleachers, then he fell down. And so Carmelo got away too quick. He got around to a coach, and he basically told him what was happening. So as people rushed to come and do the thing they need to do to get to help to Austin Metcalf, because that's who we know was the one that fell down. The dad, Jeff Metcalf, which at the time lived about 5 minutes away from the stadium, he made it there before most of the first responders because the coach called him. And so on the video and from other people, you can see that he was there on scene, and he really wasn't tending to son. He was more so the other officers and people and officials that was there. And so they took Carmelo per the arrest report. They booked him in at 10:01 a.m. on the first page, and on the 5th page, one of the officers went over to the hospital in Plano, And there he stated that the doctor actually pronounced Austin Metcalf dead at 10:58 a.m. Now, since they booked Carmelo in at 10:01 a.m. and charged him with the murder of Austin Metcalf, it doesn't make sense because Austin was still living at the time. And from the police reports and all accounts, even from the parents themselves, from Jeff Metcalf and Megan Metcalf, they both said that they worked on Austin at the hospital. And so this is a moment to where there is a lot of lies that were told to cover up that these young men plus their two friends had beat up and assaulted Carmelo. They had aggressed upon him while he was at peace, and they actually have been trying everything they could to keep information away. We were able to go and see the video. Tiffany Billions was the first one to actually request to see the video after they had told the family that there was no video footage at all. And they told her that initially as well, but she knew better because she stayed in the area. And she requested that they show her the video that she knew they had. And so they had to actually show it to her. So her investigator went and saw it. Subsequently, I went and saw it as well, and many others. And so we were able to see definitively that he was assaulted by four people, and that it didn't make any sense why he was charged with murder of Austin Metcalf when Austin Metcalf, Hunter Metcalf, and at least one of the other two actually assaulted him, and that they know this information, and they chose to charge him with murder even before Austin Metcalf was even pronounced dead. And so this is what we're dealing with, not only just with the Carmelo Anthony case, but we're dealing with it, and it seems to be a specific issue with these counties and the state of Texas because they try to cover it up by taking it up to Ken Paxton, who is our Attorney General in Texas, and he'll make an actual legal ruling that we can't see it. And so they look for you to have to fight and sue and do other things, or hopefully give up is what they really want. But this is just what we're dealing with. And with the Carmelo Anthony situation, they even had a young lady that took a job at the courthouse just to get this family's information out to those who were threatening them, threatening to hang their family members and kill them. And they had to move like at least three times I know of to get away from these people. And eventually that person got found out. We were able to send in letters and emails to the actual courthouse. Then this person was giving out information. They told themselves, here's the information, and they ended up firing her and getting her out of there. But that's the corruption that they are willing to go to in order to cover up what they know is an actual fact. That Austin Metcalf, Hunter Metcalf, and two of their friends surrounded Carmelo Anthony, disturbed his peace in a place that he had the right to be in, and they assaulted him, and they caused Austin Metcalf to be killed or demised from whatever his situation is once we do get the toxicology report and the ME report.
Wow. And the Reddits that they have been sharing across social media and these various platforms and trying to debunk. I was watching a video and I hear people reference. Um, they say the dad was on a Beyonce tour, that he was going around to all these social media platforms trying to spread different rhetorics. Um, I want you to chime in on that because I want people to really understand and to really see what has been happening and what happens on these social media platforms and how people can take things and turn them and misconstrue them and try to push a narrative that is not so. Dwayne, are you there?
I hope we didn't lose the Wayne, of course. Make sure. We'll be calling right back in. So go ahead, Miss Angela Thompson, and go ahead and abide by us.
Well,
Your wonderful, outstanding.
I can tell y'all, just from being on some of these social media platforms, even today, I was on TikTok, and to hear some of the rhetoric that individuals are putting out, they act like this child is not supposed to be pursuing a future. You know, whether he is found innocent or guilty, he should have the opportunity for a better education. He was a straight A student. He was, again, captain of the football team and the track team. This kid was headed in the right direction. He was doing everything that parents want their kids to do to make a better life for themselves. That's what he was doing. Not only was he doing what he was supposed to be doing as a student, he was also working. He was working two jobs, not just one job. He was working two jobs, trying to really find his place in society, trying to make a way for himself, and not just depending on his parents. He was making his own blueprints. And to hear these grown adults, because these are a lot of adults that are sitting on these panels and sitting in these different things, and passing these rhetorics and trying to debunk videos and trying to do all these different things. What I heard today in some of these rooms concerning this child trying to go to school. He's enrolled at Morehouse College. He's trying to further his education. He is pursuing a criminal justice degree. So, Dwayne, you're back.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all know we, with this technology, no matter where we go, there's always gonna be some difficulties, because guess what? The enemy don't like for the truth to come forth, and that's what we do. We push the truth because we want people to be aware. We amplify and we share those things that other people may not be sharing. So, Dwayne, if you would touch on some of those narratives, those rhetorics, those different things that people have been trying to spew and spread all over this social media platform to put this baby in a bad light in his family.
Yeah, from the beginning, even taking it back to April the 2nd, um, Austin Metcalf was pronounced dead at 10:58. The family was not able to see him until around 1:30, 1:40 p.m. that afternoon. So in between that time, probably about a good couple of hours after the event had happened, so around noon ish, um, the mother was on WFAA, Channel 8 News in Dallas, Texas, in the DFW area, and she was giving an interview. Hunter, I'm assuming, was driven to that house by his dad, or drove himself. I really don't know. But he showed up, and she had him actually start an interview. In between this time, the dad had set up a GoFundMe account already. Now, we're not even 24 hours past this moment. We're still within this moment, and they haven't even been able to go see their son yet, who was just announced dead. They are on Channel 8 News in Dallas giving a narrative about what happened. They had already set up a GoFundMe account. If we fast forward past that, it has been a barrage of these people giving giving lies. I'm just going to say what it is, giving lies, alternative information about what happened. And when myself, I'll speak for myself, when I went on and told people what I saw when I went to go see the video, and that I could see them chasing them, the mother, Megan Metcalf, got onto TikTok. And she stopped in the middle of her conversation and said, "Hey, I need you guys." There's this gentleman that's going around saying that the boys chased Carmelo. I need y'all to debunk that. And this other lady, and I'll say her name, Kelly Fletcher, aka Dallas Lady on TikTok, she stated that, yeah, we know what it is. That's the way, and we got that. Don't worry. And from that moment, they meant that. They started trying to dox. They've been trying to do all kinds of things, making threats and all kinds of things they did. I'm just not easily scared like that, so I just continued to do what I was doing. But this is their behavior, and they have done that to each and every person. They have been after Tiffany Williams since the beginning of this thing, doxing her, threatening her. They got her Facebook account taken down, which she was posting on this thing in the beginning. They did everything against it, and it's been a continuous barrage of lies, threats, and everything. And when Carmelo, when it was announced he was going to school and that he had enrolled in Morehouse and got accepted, I think it was more negative stuff than most of these posts saying that he's going to get this, he's going to get that, he's going to be here, just threats to his life and to his livelihood. They actually had one panel that they were trying to strategize as to how to get to Morehouse and have them not to de-enroll him and have him not be a part of Morehouse. So this is where the extent of these people go to, and it has nothing to do with the facts of the case. Exactly. Because the facts of the case, because they know it, we know it, the DA know it, everybody know it, that these guys, Hunter and Austin Metcalf with their friends, assaulted Carmelo, and he was doing nothing but sitting and mind his own business. They know that. Since they know that, and I'll go back to this, on that same TikTok live, Megan Metcalf, after she said that she needs for us to be involved, myself specifically, that she was speaking in general to everybody as well, she stated, someone asked her, what do you need us to do? Because they were going to pray for her, pray with her, or something. They were going to just pray with her. And they were like, what do you need us to do to support Hunter? And this is her direct words, direct quote. And I have the video, so I can always send it to everybody that needs it. She said that for you guys to continue to support Hunter until the truth comes out. I'll repeat it. She said, I need for you guys to support Hunter until the truth comes out. So she knows. Jeff Metcalf knows. Hunter Metcalf knows. Willis, who is the DA of Cobb County in Texas, he knows. Everybody knows that's involved with this case. However, they have a narrative to where they fit it. But if they tell a lie enough, that you would just get tired and walk away. Argue you enough, threaten you enough, do all these different things to you enough that you would get and walk away. We refuse to step away. We refuse to turn our backs. We refuse to not support Carmelo Anthony in this situation because I know for a fact that that young man is.
He stood his ground, and self-defense is not a crime. It's not a crime. Today, I was on TikTok, and I happened across a room, and there they were on a panel discussing Carmelo going to school. Again, I say Carmelo is enrolled at Morehouse College. He is pursuing a degree in criminal justice because he see what's happening, and he wants to be able to help other individuals that may go through the same thing that he's going through and experiencing right now. We need representation, because a lot of us, if we don't have the representation and the backing of individuals, advocates, and money to afford these lawyers, you're gonna get a bad end. And we see it happening so often in the state of Texas. We've seen all of the cases that have come through Texas, that individuals have been wrongfully and overly incarcerated. And we hear this so often concerning all Black and brown people. So we didn't want this to happen with this young man. So there are so many people that are advocating and standing on the wall. They will try to rip Tiffany Billions apart. I hear them on a live today trying to give out her last name, calling her by her last name, and different things, trying to debunk the fact that this young man is enrolled at Morehouse College. You hear individuals saying that they want to go and talk to the judge, to talk to the DA, to see if he should be able to be enrolled. They say this young man does not have the right to be in school. He's not been convicted of anything. He's only been charged. When does a charge say that you are guilty? We know how many times someone brings up a case against someone. We know how many times a grand jury drops a indictment. But just because you are indicted does not mean that you are guilty. And these people have ran this baby in the mud. They have called him guilty. They have called him everything but a child of God. But I tell you what, the word say, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. You better know what you're doing. You better know who you're touching, because this baby is being used to shed light on a lot of things that is happening right there in the state of Texas, that has been happening and needs to be addressed. So what you're seeing take place, it's not just happening in Texas, it's happening in other places. If you tune into this network, you know that Chinchilla every Sunday, every single Sunday night, she's on here bringing a case before you of somebody that's been wrongfully and overly incarcerated. So we see this happening all around. Enough is enough. And we are not backing down. We are not quitting. We're not giving up. And I'm so grateful for all of these advocates that are willing to stand. Even when people try to smear their names, even when they try to dox them, even when they try to have them swatted and all of this foolish stuff that they're doing. I thank them. I thank them for continuing to stand, for not giving in and not giving up. Y'all, we got a caller in queue. We got our first caller in queue. Caller number one, if you would, please state your name and where you're calling from on tonight.
Hi, Angela, the Queen. You are doing an awesome job, and I support everything that you're saying. This is Commissioner Unique. I'm calling from Texas. And yes, it is heartbreaking that all this crime is against our black and brown children, and no one knows seems to know how it's happening, when it's happening. There's so many missing black children in Texas right now in DFW, and it's started climbing. So nobody has answers. So I support everything that you say. You know, we need to come together in unity and try to find out where these kids are going. It's a lot of times they are selling their organs on the black market, and so you know when are when is everyone going to step up to the plate and try to find out where these children disappearing to? And I just appreciate everything that you're saying. My show will be next Tuesday on the 21st, and it's not the ordinary, it's unique. And you keep doing what you're doing, and I thank you and your guests for bringing this forth to everyone on the platform. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for stopping by and sharing. Since you are there in the Dallas Fort Worth area, I just want to ask you two questions. Um, are you hearing anything about the Carmelo Anthony's case? And are you hearing anything about Tristan? Because they're in the Frisco area. These cases took place in Frisco, Texas, which is not far from the Fort Worth, the DMV area, right? The DFW area.
Right. Well, on the Camilla case, they're trying to say that it could have been a glitch in the cameras to make it seem like that the guys were taunting him per se. But everybody knows the truth. They're fighting 100% behind Camilo and them and their family, and they're standing behind them. They're still raising funds for him here. They're still promoting him here. That the white community is trying to keep it hush hush, but all the blacks here are bringing forth to make sure he get justice. And on the baby, they trying to say so much that maybe he drank the liquid, which we know that's a lie, because black people don't just drink liquid. So they're working, trying to get the word out and get more support. But like you said, they got to stop being scared and stand their ground against these racist people here because they think it's okay for them to ride around, wear their Confederate jackets, and they see you on the road, they think you supposed to get scared, this and that. But I don't put no fear to them. I said the only person I fear in this world is the Lord Jesus Christ, and He ain't coming back no time soon. So that's the only person I fear. And when you stand up to them, well, they have to have come in packs, but when they one on one, they get scared, like Karen. But I'm supporting them 100%. I'm supporting you every time you put some on your platform. I share it so the people can see it, can come on board to join in with you as well as myself. And we got to keep it pushing as it because the media is not going to put it out there. We have to get the word out because the media try to sweep it under the rug per se. But I appreciate you and your guests putting it out there so we can get the word out to the community.
Well, I definitely appreciate you stopping by and sharing your input. I'm going to be sharing his Give, Send, Go. For those that want to support, you can go over to Give, Send, Go /help Carmelo and donate. We're asking individuals to donate $20.25 because this is the 2025 and he's going back to school, and we just asking, but whatever's laid on your heart, you can donate. If it's $1, if it's $5, not understanding that every little bit counts because this family has had to move 3 times because they have been doxing them. They have done some of the most outrageous things. Individuals have did some they have harassed him on his job to the fact that he resigned from his job. So this family definitely needs our support, definitely needs us rallying behind him. We have created a Facebook page over on Facebook so that we can get over here on Facebook and debunk some of these lies and Reddits that's being spreaded across Facebook, because a lot of us have devoted time to TikTok, but we're going to be over here on Facebook. So we're asking everybody that can and will that is on Facebook to please go and like and follow the Carmelo Anthony's camp page. And camp is spelled with a K. And that is the Carmelo Anthony's camp page. So again, Unique, thank you for stopping by and sharing with us. I thank you for what you're doing. And again, y'all, that is our commissioner here on the WBNN, and I thank her. Dwayne, the enemy is definitely not with you tonight because he keep messing with your technology, but that's okay because everybody know we don't stop, we press. We press, we press. Can't nothing stop us. We not willing to give in or give up. So again, I just wanted you to share. I was sharing because I was on a live earlier today, just happened to breeze by and heard them over there talking about Carmelo going back to school, going on to college and being enrolled at Morehouse. These individuals were actually talking about sending letters to the school. They were even talking about sending letters to the DA, sending letters to the judges, asking the judge, is he supposed to be in school? And then they over there running Tiffany's name through the mud and all kind of stuff. Over there on Jigga TV. It was over there on Jigga TV today, and you know all those that be on his panel. I mean, they was over there. They was busting blood vessels. Like I'm talking about, they was heated. If you could see them in the flesh, they probably was red. That's how loud and angry they sounded in their voices. it, I laughed because I thought it was funny. These are grown people, and yet they don't want the best for this child. They're saying that he shouldn't have that opportunity. The baby has not been found guilty. He's only been charged. He's been charged, and nowhere in nothing. They even had somebody talking about, she Googled and said that they don't have online classes, and that was debunked right there in her face because somebody went to the website and gave them the URL to go and see what classes you can take online and all of that. They didn't want to hear that. I'm telling you, every time they come, we always got the truth to shut them up.
Always.
But yeah, I want you to share a little bit about these lies that is being spreaded and how individuals are constantly trying to silence the Carmelo Anthony supporters. They definitely don't want us to talk about that because I don't know what's going on. Um, I want to say it might kick me out that time. Let me get back on. I think it kicked me out. Yeah, it kicked me out, y'all. He busy today. Real busy today.
Your line. Raise your hand using *2 so the host knows when you want
Yeah,
to
they
speak.
kicked me out, so I had to call back in.
Hand. You will now enter the conference. Muted.
I tell you that in
Recording started. Give them grace. Because at some point, you have to stop being ignorant of things that you know to be true. And they know that this situation is a cut and dry moment of self-defense. But they choose not to follow that because it's more profitable for them to get coins and likes and celebrity on TikTok than to just tell the truth. And so those people, it's just like, and you see, they usually get their just dessert of their own making because they have to reap what they sow, and that's why a lot of them got so much turmoil on their TikTok pages. So it is sad that these people will stoop that low. I've had some people on my post on TikTok um, congratulating him for making it to college and taking courses. And some of the things they say on it is just nasty. I had one guy was talking about what he was going to get in prison and all this. He could finish his education there. And I just responded and I was like, well, you projecting much. I guess you're giving us your past experiences on TikTok. It'll be his moment, but you continue on with your moment. And I think that's what people have to understand. Sometimes just getting the energy that they need or just ignore them and keep on going because we have to fight not just for Carmelo, we have to fight for all of these young men and women that are being accosted here in this country. They had one young man that was actually arrested by ICE, and I think the young man was special needs or something, or autistic, and they said that they thought that he was someone else. But you're at a school, and you're arresting the boy at the school, in front of the school grounds, and everything, and now you're trying to say that you didn't do it? And that's just how much they think of us. They think that we're stupid, one, that we don't pay attention, but they think that we are back in the 1700s and whatever other time they want to be in, that we're property or whatever the case may be. And we're not standing for that. So we're going to stand up and protect ours, protect our people, protect those who are marginalized, those who are being accosted and treated differently and unfairly. And just like in Carmelo's situation, we're going to continue to stand with Carmelo Sincere Anthony because that young man is a blessed young man. And he has shown us what perseverance looks like. He has shown us what strength looks like. His mom and dad has shown us that unity in home matters a lot because they have been through a lot. They have been at home with no income because the dad had to resign. And with the community helping, those people actually stopped the good give, say, and go by spreading lies about what they were using money for when they hadn't taken any money out of it. Even to this day, they haven't taken any money out of it. And so we have to just understand that combat the lies with truth. Just like you said, y'all started the Facebook page. I just went and liked it, and I'm following it. And so I'm gonna start, like I did, post a video onto it. I'm gonna start helping. And when it's false information, we have to come at it with the truth and just put the truth out every time, because these people cannot keep lying and disturbing the lives of our individuals, of our people. We must live at peace, and we're going to live at peace. And if that means we have to bring truth and understanding to them while we're doing it, then that's what we're going to do.
Wow, definitely, because we not giving up. We got caller number two in queue, y'all. Caller number two, if you would please state your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hey, it's your boy, Mr. Zachary, calling from Charleston, South Carolina, man. I just want to say that I am enjoying this topic. I agree with, Commissioner Unique. I think a lot of people are scared to speak, scared to speak up. If it does not have to do with them, they don't bother with. People gotta think like certain things is more than you. Like it's more than you than meets the eye. You sometimes you gotta take a stand. Sometimes you can't be quiet. And I think that sometimes that's the struggle that we have with our brown and black people. They're scared. You see, I feel like this generation is very, very scared. If they're not, if it does not affect them, they don't want to be bothered with it. And I wish that we can get out that mindset. I'm not saying it's everybody. We just got a few don't want to step up because
it's that my for and no more syndrome. That's that my for and no more syndrome. They don't want to look past your household. But for those that are believers and believe the word, he said not just look on your own things, but look on the things of others. So it ain't just rhetoric that we putting out. I mean, it's the word from the man above. He said not just focus on yourself, but focus on your brothers and your sisters. So when you see something, you got to do something about it. You can't just sit and be quiet, because you would hope that if something is going on with you, that somebody would speak up for you, that somebody would have your back, that somebody would support you in your time of need. So in order for us to get something, we got to give something too. So we got to put this out in the atmosphere. We got to put it out there so when we are in need, it'll come back to us.
Yes.
Huh?
So Zachary,
yes, ma'am.
you are in South Carolina. You are down. Don't know how far you are from Beaufort, but
not too far.
There was they labeled it a mass shooting. Huh? They labeled that a mass shooting, but we all know who do mass shootings, and it's not us. But there was a shooting where I think two individuals were unalived over the weekend. Um, and I think there may have been a couple people injured. Um, do you have any insight on what took place with that, and who was?
Unfortunately, I do not. Do I know you're talking about? Yes, I do. What you said a few minutes ago. To be honest with you, black and brown people don't do a lot of mass shootings in the other races and other next to this group. But that's how what they play on. Come down to the public eye. We are the first number one enemy when it comes down to shooting on a grand scale.
They love to throw that 13%, 53% false status out. That's their favorite. You hear that on a lot of platforms. They love throwing that 13%, 53% quote out, which is a lie. If they visit some of the FBI websites, they can see for themselves the statistics. And we all know that you don't hear them talking about all of these essays and these graping and all of that, which they lead. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about they lead in all of those things. But if you have been following here in South Carolina, there's been a judge that has been that has recently been incarcerated for children stuff, and then you got two politicians that have been um, behind bars for the same thing. And look at them; they definitely not of the black and brown culture, but they always want to give a rhetoric and a narrative. Stop worrying about what is happening within our culture. Let us deal with us, and y'all deal with y'all, because y'all got a lot going on over there. But y'all always wanting to add your 2 cents in to what we got going on, and what is happening with us. So I say to them, mind your business. See, if those twins had been minding their business instead of minding Camilo's business, we wouldn't be right here today, because you can't police another child. Children can't police children, and and we know where that leads to. So mind your business. Mind your business. That's what I tell them. Mind your business.
There's a lot of more cases just like this that people don't talk about.
Right.
There's similar cases today. But I just want to say one thing, and I'll let you get back to your show. I want us to sit back and think, if you was in their shoes, how would you feel at that moment? What would you do in that moment? If you was in their shoes, are we our brother keeper or are we our sister keeper? Like, let's be for real. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. Thank you. This conversation has been amazing. My next show is on October 28th, and I'll bring it back to the family with a solo show. So thank you. Thank you for having this platform.
Thank you for stopping by and sharing. We truly appreciate you stopping by and sharing your input. So again, if y'all want to call in and chime in on the conversation, again, we need your input. We always need your input. So if you would like to chime in to the conversation, you can call in and chime in. Again, let me get that number so y'all can call on in. It is 605-562-044 or 717-734-6904. Make sure you press the ID code, which is 546-1150 And to enter the studio, you have to press £1, star 2 to join the conversation. So to chat live with us, you have to press star 2. So come on in the room and join us. So back to you, my co-host. Oh no, we got caller number 3, y'all. We got caller number 3 in the queue. Caller number 3. If you would, please state your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hey, it's Des calling in from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Hi, Des. How are you?
Hey, Angela. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. Okay-ish. How are you doing?
I'm great. The enemy always at work, but guess what? He gets no play. He gets no play. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain. I won't complain, because guess what? It could be way worse than it is. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm good. So what do you have to chime in on this conversation tonight? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's I'm doing my best to get my people together. It is a continued struggle. I had a conversation tonight with about how we protest. About maybe doing some things a little bit different. I've been talking to a group of people, and I'm not really getting anywhere, but I feel like tonight, whenever the No Kings protest happened, there was, here in Little Rock, Arkansas, we had 10,000 people out protesting, and they had a drone to count how many people. So I talked to the person who has the drone that counted all the people. And they're asking me, like, okay, well, how is it that we can do some things? I'm like, well, we can all start moving all of our funds over to a Black-owned credit union. That's one thing we can do. I said, how do these politicians get funded? Federal funding. They get federal funding, which part of that federal funding from those big, large corporate-owned banks goes to like either the RNC or the DNC or whatever group that they're a part of that they get that money from. And it comes from those large corporate hedge fund banks. If you don't know what that is, JP Morgan. That would be Bank of America. That would be Regions, Simmons First, those large corporate hedge fund banks. And you might even have something in your state that is considered to be a large corporate hedge fund. And I said, not everybody can get out in the street and protest. I was like, but I'm just throwing this out there. The people that are protesting, this has not turned into a protest. This is now a party for white liberals. And do we want to make an impact, or do we just want to be underneath the bridge in Little Rock, underneath not the Brooklyn Bridge, the Broadway Bridge? Do we want to be underneath the Broadway Bridge with a DJ and cornhole and really think we're doing something? Or are we going to go up to the Capitol on a Saturday night when the only people that are there are the housekeeping and janitorial service that are with us anyway, when you're not doing anything to move the needle? And so my point was, I'm like, has nobody studied the civil rights movement? Has nobody studied the suffrage movement? It was like some of these people implanted bombs. Now, I'm not suggesting that anybody go out and implant a bomb. But what I am saying is we have to do something that is going to financially hurt them in some way. So, yes, boycotts are very effective. But let's start thinking about that with banking. Let's also start thinking about, like, Republicans passing white women on the front line. So if they're all dressed up in their pearls, even better. Quit dressing up in Handmaid's Tale costume. Quit putting on reptar costumes and dancing around. That's not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Quit cosplaying the Statue of Liberty. And y'all get in your Sunday best and y'all go to the governor's mansion where she's got her feet propped up. And affecting money, that when an area is affected by crime, it's usually because there's a lack of resources. So if that area that is disenfranchised becomes re-enfranchised, and now we have money circulating because we have more banks over here on this side of town, then that means less crime, less poverty, and everyone is doing better. Anytime you benefit the Black community, everybody benefits. And I proved that in Russellville, where we got all of the sidewalks put in, making the entire city walkable. They don't have public transportation, so that was one strategy. But, there's a lot of lynchings happening currently. One of them happened in Pine Bluff, which is about 45-minute drive from where I'm at here in Little Rock. And it's really sick. And a lot of it comes from after the Civil War. None of my people were held accountable for any of the shit that they did during slavery. And then nobody was held accountable during the Civil Rights Movement from the past Jim Crow. And there's a lot of people pointing fingers and saying, oh, Nazi this, Nazi that. Where did Hitler get his playbook from? It was Jim Crow South. That is where he got the playbook from. So we need to quit saying, oh, the Gestapo, and say, no, that's the Klan. No, that's what would be called a slave catcher back in the day. That is what this is. They're trying to re-implement slavery. The whole idea was the concentration camp over in Nazi Germany, but that came from having plantations. So I just say all that to say, like, I love your topic tonight. I hate that we have to continue to have this topic, but it's important.
Definitely.
And keep doing what you're doing. And I appreciate you. And my next show is U-Turn, and it'll be on October 30th at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 Central Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we are still on the topic currently of dismantling white supremacy within finance.
Well, I definitely thank you for chiming in on tonight, and I thank you for what you are doing here on the network. So keep doing what you're doing, and I appreciate you stopping by and sharing with us on tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It was good to hear your voice.
Thank you. So, Dwayne, what's your thoughts? You still there?
I'm
Dwayne?
still here.
Dwayne, are you still here? My guest? My co-host?
No, no, we're off. So I'm trying to see what's wrong with him. So we'll keep it cracking. But you guys have a caller on at this time. So we're here for right now. Yo,
Wow.
You there, my bro? Yeah, I'm here. all right, man. I thought you was Houdini, man, on some magic tricks, man. You going off and on. What's up? You good? I know, right? I'm good.
So we have another caller. Brother O, you said we had another caller?
Muted.
Yeah, caller on right now.
Unmuted.
Caller, if you would, please state your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yes, my travel name is Huni Bakatun, and my painted stage name is Master. Tom Magic Man, Haru. How you doing? Brilliant, beautiful woman of God, spiritual daughter of mine, and so many things. International Internet Radio Hall of Famer, enshrinee, and honors to your special honored guest. Buddy, I tell you, you never cease to amaze me by your excellent presentation, content, and transmission. And, it just goes to show how you have come so far. I'm so proud of you. All of us are. All right. So, look, I'm also a host of this great company of WBNN. When your show ends, mine begin. And I would have the pleasure and the honor of interviewing the International Internet Radio Hall of Famer nominee, Dr. Chinchilla Tunisia Tomorrow. Now, what's so unique about it is it's very important for not only to tune in, but tomorrow I want my email flooded, and I want her email flooded, because that's the only way you can go about casting your vote for one of our greats. Now, I did a post. I got to go back and recap the edit. Take time to do this, because she has done so much for us, and she continues to do so much for our world, just like you. You had to go from nominee to enshrinee. Matter of fact, all of us had to cross that threshold. So let's work together, put our thoughts together, and put our best intentions, and cast your votes right away. Okay? Anyway, I love you with the heart and soul of me. And again, when your show ends, mine begin tomorrow evening on this great WBNN radio station at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Brother Hooney, for stopping by and sharing on tonight. Again, his show will be tomorrow night. He is one of the amazing hosts here on the WBNN. So, y'all, I shared a lot with y'all. I called out some names at the beginning of the show. Um, it's just a lot that is going on, a lot that is taking place within our Black and Brown community, and we have to rally together. We have to stand. We have to continue to fight, because if we don't, that saying that if we don't stand for something, we will continue to fall for anything. And y'all, there is families out here that's depending on us. Trey Reed, his family deserves justice. Kyron Lacey, his family deserves justice. I listened to a video of his mom, who also sung at his funeral. She said days leading up to his suicide, he kept asking her, why don't they believe me? Why don't they believe me? Why don't they believe me? And now the truth comes out. And this baby was in the right. He did nothing wrong. He was nowhere near the accident. But to cover their own, they lied. But video don't lie. Video do not lie. Do not lie. And not only do we have video for that case, there's video concerning Carmelo Anthony. And as you've heard Dwayne speak about that case, he went and he saw the video. So he's only speaking from truth. He's only speaking from what he saw. And for all those that have not seen the video, to be spreading rhetorics and to be spreading lies. Y'all, we need justice. And we need justice in the right way. So continue to stand. Don't settle for anything. Continue to fight. Because if we don't stand, we'll fall for anything. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I want to thank all those that chimed into the conversation. Y'all will be back next month. I'll be back in 4 weeks. Same location, same time. And again will have Dwayne back. He's gonna ride the rest of this season out with me. So on November the 19th, y'all mark your calendars. Set your alarms, whatever you got to do so that you can be right here. Chiming into the conversation. We're going to tap into some more of these cases. We're going to bring you some more information concerning these cases because I'm sure there's going to be some more development. We're going to be following the case of this 5-year-old baby because she's a baby that was sexually assaulted, that her hair was scalped from her scalp, and she was left in a field to die. We're going to have some more information about that and these these kids that have been charged with this. They've been charged with attempted murder and assault, sexually assaulted that baby. So we're definitely going to be following that. There was a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old that charges was brought upon them on today. So y'all, we have a lot that we're going to be covering and touching on over these next couple of months. So y'all make sure you're back here November the 19th. Again, I want to thank you guys for chiming in. It is that time, y'all. It is Ngozi time. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. O.
Well, first of all, I want to thank all the folks that counted on Robbie to be here tonight. I want to thank our very, very special guest, Dwayne, and of course, all the things we do on a constant basis here at the Great BNN. Tomorrow night, we come back on with a legend. His name is Lee Bakassoon. The name of the show is We Will Aware You. 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time on the one and only Divination. And stay tuned. Of course, part of Divination Communications, Mind Crushers Network, and last year, even a newcomer of the year, Visimoto with KI, 8 o'clock. At Talk Show Radio. And of course, Divination Communications advertising on Goji Time Multimedia. Pinterest, Google, Instagram, and X for Twitter, or Ladella Malay when Goji Facebook. Any comments, suggestions, or one for programs tonight, Olay.Goji, myNGO.com. I am your mother and father's favorite producer, Dr. Ladella Malay when Goji, for by University of Michigan and Kobe University of Miami, boy. Saying goodnight to luck to all the folks out there on Force Radio. As supporters on a constant basis. Now into exceptional accolades. The 2023 Animal Dog Award winner for excellence, the Divination Communications Host of the Year for the Excel Season 2023. International Internet Radio Hall of Fame broadcasting enshrinee, the young lady from Anderson, South Carolina. The one with outstanding,
Unmuted.
fair name, Angela Thomas Smith.
Again, I want to thank everyone that did not count it robbery for being here tonight and supporting this show and whatever outlet you support it on. I appreciate you for chiming in and being a part. definitely, always, I thank Brother O for providing this platform and being an outlet that we can come and we can share our voices, that we can amplify our voices, and that we can allow our voices to be heard. So, to all those that tune in, thank you for tuning in and supporting the WBNN, Walking in Purpose with Angela. Again, I will be back right here, same time, same place, November the 19th. Y'all tune in. We're going to continue this conversation and give a shout out to my co-host, Dwayne, for sacrificing for his time, for being here, and his willingness to advocate. Y'all, as I say, we are the change that we desire to see in this world. Change begins and ends with you. If you want change, you have to be that change. Until next time, y'all be blessed. I love y'all and thank you for being a part of the WBNN family. Y'all have a great night. Your line has been disconnected. Well, that's